Hey guys, Joe here, doing a video game pickup video. Picked up some stuff for the flea market today, as well as a couple of things that I intend to keep. It's kind of weird how things work out when you're planning on doing one thing and something else happens. One quick update, I want to show you that I got the 64 all cleaned up, and that's ready to go to the sale. Um, I used my security bit drivers and opened it up, cleaned all the dust out of the system, cleaned off the pins really good, and cleaned the system, the games really well. So it fires right up every time. It's too bad that this controller is all chewed up because it actually cleaned up really nice. And it actually works pretty good. A little loose on the stick, but not terrible. But that should still be worth about 50 bucks, mainly because it's got the expansion pack and 3 games with it. So I'll let you know how that goes. So I needed a few more parts for 360s because I've got the fully repaired systems, but I was missing one power brick and one controller. So I was cruising around on Craigslist this morning at about 6:30, and an ad popped up. It said $20, 2 Xbox 360s need work, blah blah blah. I opened up the ad and it's got a picture of one of the systems and it's got a hard drive on top, and it says comes with power brick, AV cables, and controller. Must pick up, firm on price, blah blah blah. He's a little ways away from me, about 20 minutes from where I work, so I figured I'd go to work after I picked up the stuff. So that was no big deal. Made it so it was a little bit closer. I call the guy. He doesn't immediately pick up the phone. He called me right back though. I'm guessing he was doing something where he just didn't hear the phone or just didn't get to it in time. So we're talking on the phone. I say, yeah, I want to come get the stuff. And he says, you understand that that's the price? I said, it's not a problem. I don't care. I just need the parts. I don't even care if I can fix the 2 systems. Although in my head I'm thinking, yeah, I can fix it, but I want to sound like I agree with the guy that he knows what he's talking about. So I say, no problem, I'm heading out. Do you have anything else? And he says, I probably got like some Sims games. I've got like a bunch of those advertised too. I said, nah, I'm not really looking for PC games, but I'll take a look at what you got. So I go over to his house, and really nice fella. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't his house. It was either a relative or somebody he was caring for, because the house was really decorated with old stuff, and it even had a Stannis stair lift to go up the front stairs. So, anyways, when I get to the door, he was like, I've got a PS2 and a bunch of games, but I really don't want to sell those because I play the system. And I says, well, that's fine. Do you want to sell any of the games you have with the system that you may not be playing anymore? And he's like, yeah, actually I do. I've got a bunch of them, so come on in. So we go into the house, go down to the basement, insert weird, joke there. Anyways, he pulls out a box of stuff, and inside the box he had a bunch of games and a bag, and inside the bag he said was a bunch of video game stuff, including a couple of things for the 360. He had the power brick, which I knew was included, and a regular AV cable, which I knew was included. The other half of the power brick is in here somewhere. Funny enough, he had 2 Wii AV cables, which, okay, whatever, I'm cool. Or are these GameCube? These ones might be GameCube. I can't remember which one. But just in case, I actually got one of those too. So I'm pretty sure this was the one for the GameCube. And 2 PlayStation AV cables. And you can use those PS1, PS2, or PS3s. So those are always coming in handy. Let's see, what else? So I start going through the bag, and there's all kinds of weird stuff in this bag. He had 1 GameCube game, Tony Hawk's Underground. Let's see, 1 Game Boy game, Tetris 2. A few memory cards, 1 PS2 memory card, which is out in the car. 1 PS1 memory card, PlayStation branded, and one of those aftermarket ones. It's the memory card 2X, the one where you push that little button and it swaps over to the other storage somehow, I think with magic or something. So there you go. Also, a power brick for Super Nintendo, which I didn't need, but okay. And a Rock Band dongle. It's USB, so I'm assuming that that would be for the Xbox or PS3. I'm going to go with Xbox since it's white, but whatever. There you go. Now I have a free, pretty much free 2.0 USB hub. Although I've got a 3.0 USB hub, so whatever. A Sony network adapter. Oh, this one says HDD, which indicates it's also the hard drive. Although I don't see a size for the hard drive listed, but whatever, that's cool. You need these if you want to do LAN parties, local area network parties for playing like Battlefront 2 or other games. And you also need the hard drive if you want to hack your system and put other operating systems like Linux and whatnot on your PS2s. So these are still worth 10 to 12 bucks. So I'm happy there. A SanDisk 8 gigabyte memory stick that has an Xbox 360 sticker on it. I don't know if it's actually for a 360 or if he just had a sticker laying around. Knowing what I know of that gentleman, it could be either or. So from there we move on to some games, and again, none of these games were going to come with this stuff. This is all stuff that he pulled out of a box. Some loose stuff. Let me start with the PlayStation 1 games and we'll move into the PS2s and up. Copy of Namco Museum Volume 3. I already have one of these complete. This one's a little scratched up too. Most of the loose games are pretty scratched. Some of them will play, some of them definitely won't, so I'm going to have to resurface some of them. Resident Evil 2 Disc 2. No Disc 1. Jeremy McGrath Supercross 98. NFL Game Day 98, and I'm pretty sure I have this one complete in box. Contra Legacy of War, disc and manual, but no case. I'll have to swap out a case for a loose disc or something. Then, let's see, Dave Mirra, Freestyle BMX in a hard truck case. Midway Arcade's Greatest Hits, the Atari Collection, Volume 1. So that's cool. And then a couple of them that are actually worth a little bit of money. And you're going to see some prices listed. And all I did was I just stuck a little piece of Scotch tape on there so that I could write on it. I didn't actually write on cases, and the Scotch tape comes off really easy. But the prices that I have written on here are the current eBay sold completed low end. Now, there's always the anomalies that are really cheap, like somebody puts up something for a penny and it actually only gets one bid somehow, which I've done on game bundles. Or, you know, they shoot way too high and somebody stupidly bids because they think it's worth more than it actually is. My prices that I have written on here are the average low-end sold price. So, disc only, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, not with Dino Crisis. Low end, 12 bucks. The better one of the PlayStation games, and I may keep it, but again, the guy that bought the Suikoden might be interested in this, and that's Heart of Darkness. Again, this is on the real low end at $14. I've seen them at $24, $25, but I went with $14 because the case isn't in the best shape. And let's see, let's move on to PS2 games, a couple of loose ones. SOCOM, which one is this one? Just US Navy SEALs. I have a copy of that complete. And then Dead to Rights, I have a copy of that on the Xbox complete, so that's fine. Some common junk titles for the PlayStation 2. 007, Everything or Nothing. NBA Live 2004. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Madden 2011. However, there's actually two copies of the game disc. One is much worse than the other, so I'm assuming he played it until it wouldn't play anymore and then got another copy. What's funny is it still has when GameStop originally sold it new for $39.99. Some of these don't have labels, so I have to open them up. My second copy of Maximo in a couple of weeks. This one's actually better than the one I picked up in terms of condition. Soul Reaver 2, I have that complete. Madden 2007, however, it's in a 2004 case. He just crossed out the 4 and wrote a 7. Max Payne, the greatest hits version. However, it does have also, again, 2 discs. You've got the original greatest hits one that's in there, as well as a black label disc. The black label disc is cleaner than the greatest hits, so I'll keep that in there. TNA Impact, a wrestling game, never played it. That's back before everything got merged together and the McMahons bought out the world. Excuse me, it's midnight. Where they fought in a hexagon, not a ring or an octagon. A jam-packed disc, which is the one that's got all the demos and videos and stuff. I'm going to keep this one with my not for resale stuff, even though technically it was a resale piece. And then a fun game to play, but when it's not complete, it's not worth anything, would be True Crime Streets of LA. Now, pretty much all of these are just going to go into the dollar box, unless I decide to keep like the Max Payne after all, like I said I was. And they'll just quickly sell. These games, these PS2 games are actually worth something, and I was impressed. Now I'm going to go from cheapest to most expensive. Again, please keep in mind these are current average sale prices that are on the low end for sales. Okay, all right. First off, you've got Tekken Tag Tournament. I wrote $5 on there because that's the average, and the disc is actually clean. The Mummy game. Absolutely flawless disc, and it's complete. Doubt he ever played it. Again, about $5. The Simpsons Hit and Run. I also have the Simpsons Road Rage, and when you have the two complete, it's actually worth about $22 to $23 for both. But as a loose individual installment, $12. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, a special edition. It's going for, $15. Drakengard 2, also about $15. One that actually surprised me because I didn't realize it was worth as much as it is Scarface: The World Is Yours. Again, low end, $18. They are selling for more than that on eBay, and this one is complete. And then the best game out of the whole bunch, and quite frankly, I didn't even realize what it was. I didn't look at it until I got it back here. Bloody Roar 3, complete, and outside from just a few little marks on it, and it's a blue-black disc, it is in really good shape. So, again, low end, although this is in really good shape in my opinion. Sorry, the words just stopped for some reason. There's some noise going on outside and I heard it. But yeah, $20. So I will take that stack with me to the flea market, and I will let that kid that bought the Suikoden's from me look at them. But he's got to pay me what I'm asking on those, otherwise I'm just going to keep them. And you'll understand why when I get to the bottom of all of this stuff. He had a few Xbox 360 games. Kinect Sports Season 2. Kinect Adventures in a cardboard box, and I'm going to keep that just because, again, I like weird cases. And the B-Movie game. The other reason I'm going to keep the Kinect Adventures is because it's worth about 3 cents. So might as well have something quirky. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you, I don't know if I showed you or not, so I'm going to show you now. 2 Wiimotes, one black, which is the Wii Motion Plus, and one white. He had already put this one, the battery cover from this one on here, so I assume this was the one he'd been using, but he didn't have a Wii anymore, so the batteries in it are dead, so I'm going to swap them out with some fresh ones and see if it works. If it does, I have a Wii that I need a controller for, so that's pretty cool. Either way, I've got 2 controllers, so one of them should work fine. But moving on to the Sims stuff. It's got The Sims 2 and then a bunch of the add-ons. You've got Unleashed, House Party, Superstar, Vacation, Hot Date, and The Sims Online, as well as the Living Large pack. So that's most of the packs. I think it's missing University or something, but no big deal. I can bundle all those as one package and sell them on. And then a bunch of The Sims 3. Obviously, you've got the game, and then you got the Ambitions expansion pack. The high-end Loft Stuff Pack, and I actually already have a copy of that. Late Night Expansion Pack, and the World Adventures Expansion Pack. Now, for some reason, it had 2 copies of the Late Night Expansion Pack. I don't really know why, since all these discs are like brand new. Maybe he just didn't realize he already had it and bought it. And it does contain all the manuals with all the CD keys, so that's pretty cool. So I may actually load these onto my computer and just have The Sims 3 loaded on there just for fun, because come on, it's fun to build stuff. I can't be the only one, am I? Maybe. Sounds a little bit weird. Alright, next we've got at a thrift store near work, and Mr. J, thank you very much, because this is the one that you suggested. They didn't have a whole lot, but I picked up a couple of things. Bunch of empty cases again, and it's one of those things where they were only asking $2 a game, so why steal that stuff, you stupid fucks. For 50 cents though, I got a copy of NBA In the Zone 98. For the PC, I got a copy of the first Diablo. I wrote $5 on there because that's been the average. And then for $2, I got a copy of Fable 3. No manual, but whatever. This is just something to have at the flea market. I've decided to try to get more current stuff as well, so I want to have a decent selection of PS3, Xbox 360, and maybe even some Xbox One and PS4 stuff, but we'll see what happens. I think that's about it. They did trade me for a new copy of Alliance, and this one is in really nice shape, so that should play fine. For fun, I thought I'd just show you that the Xboxes came in the wrong box, but it's in good shape, the box is, so I'm going to throw it up there with the PlayStation 3 box, which I'm going to show you right now because it just occurred to me that I put that up after I put up the last video, so you guys probably didn't even see me do that, so hang on. Also did a little bit of cleaning and just dropped one of the Xbox on its side, but whatever. The reason I don't pan down much, guys, is because I'm missing parts of my legs, and you don't need to see that. But yeah, so I cleaned out a bunch of stuff. This is just a box of DSIs and stuff, and I have a box for AV cables down there. But I put the PS3 Metal Gear Solid 4 box game and the sealed guide up here. Just, you know, for display, and I'll put the Xbox 360 one there. Now, it occurred to me when I was going through and telling you what I was keeping, it kind of looked pretty bare, but that was because I hadn't gone through all those boxes yet to determine which ones I was definitely keeping. As you can see, I filled the shelves up quite a bit again, and I've still got to go through and organize them a little bit. These are all my empty cases for each system. Obviously, I've got a lot of 360 and PS3 empty cases. Just happens to be the way things are right now. But again, I don't want to sell my PS1 games unless I get what I want for them. So, there you go. There's the systems that I've completely finished fixing, ready to be put together with pricing and games and stuff, minus that PSP, which needs work. But the Xbox 360s all work. However, I think this one is being sold to one of my coworkers. He said he wants one for a game and doesn't need one that has Wi-Fi. So, and this was the cleanest one after I was done with them all. And being the nice guy I am, I'm giving him a bro price on it. So, you better appreciate that shit. That's about it. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you like the video, thumbs it up. If you hate the video, thumbs it down. Today's reason not to thumbs it down, because if you give me the thumbs down, I'm going to make sure that your car goes into emergency limp mode from now on at the most inopportune times. So, there we go. I will talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching.